Hi, Tzemach Yehuda Richter here, speaking to you about an article I wrote on February 28, 2021 for the Times of Israel, the blogs, entitled Cracking the Megillah Esther Code from a former U.S. Army Morse code interceptor. I discussed the concept of tefillin in the middle of the article, and I'm holding a tefillin shel rosh. This is the tefillin I put on my head every day for Shachari service in the morning, except of course on Shabbos. And I consider these tefillin as part of a type of black box that I actually wear on my head every single morning as I'm praying to Hashem, to God. And then I mention in the article that to me, a black box is not the black box that they call an airplane that has a black box, because those black boxes are painted orange. To me, this is a genuine black box. And the definition of a black box, according to a dictionary, and I use the site, which is lexico.com, powered by Oxford, and their definition of a black box is a flight recorder in an aircraft. And then it says the aircraft's black boxes could hold the key to an accident. But it goes on further to say it's a complex system or device whose internal workings are hidden or not really understood. For those of you who are not familiar with this box, this pair of tefillin, or this head tefillin, inside this tefillin are 4 compartments with 4 parchments. And each parchment has to be perfect. If there's one letter missing, if there's a mistake in the letter, then it's considered, as we call, puzzle, and it has to be rewritten or replaced in order to make this black box perfect again. And it reminds me of a black box similar to an aircraft. When an aircraft has a black box, it has to have working parts, and those working parts have to be absolutely perfect. They have to work in order to receive the recording in case there is some need to receive it. So to me, this is a receptacle. This is a receptacle for when I'm learning or when I'm praying and davening to Hashem. This is a receptacle, and it gives me some sort of a way. It gives me a way to get on the same wavelength as I would if I was using an antenna and I was trying to tune the antenna in to the exact frequency I need it to be. So to me, this is similar to an antenna. It gets you to the right frequency as long as it's perfectly working in the order, and the parchments are in the right order according to what is required by law, by halacha. And then I quote a book that is entitled The Megillah, the Book of Esther. The edition I have is published by Art Scroll Studio Press. Rabbi Meir Zlotowitz is credited with its translation and compilation, and Rabbi Nassim Sherman wrote an extensive overview in the book's introduction. And I mention a key point, which he said that he tells us that, in a nutshell, that the time of open miracles, such as the splitting of the sea, ended with Esther and Mordecai. And then he goes on to say that the author explains that Hashem's name does not appear anywhere in the Megillah, but he has given us enough tools to find truth in God's hand in everyday events. So the fact that I'm looking at these code talkers from the Navajos as being very unique people. They had a code which nobody could crack for the Japanese. And as much as they tried, the code talkers were successful, and they were credited as a major help in the U.S. defeating the Japanese at Iwo Jima. So what was quoted by the author of the books, of the book of Megillah Esther, is saying that Hashem has given us enough tools to find truth in Hashem's hand and Hashem's hand in everyday events. Makes me feel very strongly that one of the reasons I was forced to leave the unit because of Shabbos, the intelligence unit because of Shabbos, and not been able to carry on with my Morse code training. Interceptor training was very simple. That I was meant to now use that training for not training on the Morse code, but rather looking at the Hebrew language more deeply and looking into various aspects of what the hidden meanings are of things that we find in everyday life. And this is something that I've really taken an interest on, and I'm going to continue to send you or present videos which might be quite eye-opening. It just so happens I ran across a video of a Holocaust survivor, and he talks about and he shows you his tefillin that he had for 70 years that he kept even during the time he was in the concentration camps. And I think you'll find this video very interesting. Therefore, I'm going to stop this video now and going to be putting that video up following this one. Call to